Hey everybody, this is Alex Fabrega coming at you again with another Teaching Tips Tuesday. Today my guest is Alex Fabrega, me. I am a TVI O&M here at FPC, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the wonderful world of customization options available for an Ambutech cane. So we're going to start by looking at handles. Of course, we have a golf grip handle. The background's going to freak out when I'm doing this. This is the standard handle that most people are experienced with, but did you know that there are two more cane handle options available? So we have the cork handle. It is very slightly lighter than the golf grip, and the texture is a bit softer, a bit smoother. One of the downsides I have personally witnessed is that these little babies will soak up sweat, and after a while they can start to develop somewhat of an unpleasant aroma to them. I have never had a client or a student who this has been their absolute preference, so I've not had a ton of chance to see it out in the field, but it is an option available. Then we have the wooden handle. This is a good deal thicker than the standard golf grip or the cork handle. It has these little ridges in it. I once had a client who put hair ties in there. So this wider grip makes it a bit easier to hold on to for a client with arthritis or some sort of neuropathy in the hand that might make that grip strength a little bit more difficult. And also, I think it just looks very classy. It is a little bit heavier than the golf grip, so if the weight of the cane is a big concern, I probably wouldn't go with this, but it's a great option. And now we can move on to tips. So, of course, we have the classic rolling marshmallow tip. Comes stock on just about any Ambutech cane you would purchase and is good in almost any travel situation. But let's say you wanted to customize a little bit. So comparing the marshmallow roller to the jumbo roller. This is very similar. It rolls just like a marshmallow roller would, but it's a bit wider. I find that it gets stuck in cracks a lot less frequently, and I would describe the experience of using this as almost jaunty. It sort of skips and jumps off of every crack and obstacle that's in front of you. I have a few clients that really, really like the jumbo roller. Next, we have the classic big ball. This is usually the first cane tip you would give a brand new cane user because it's nice and heavy, helps keep that cane tip on the ground, especially if you're working with a very young student who just wants to lightsaber that cane around all day. This helps to keep it to the ground. You can't get these stuck unless you really make an effort to, so it's good to avoid that early cane user frustration of poking themselves in the stomach while they're trying to learn how to use their cane. We have the high mileage tip, very similar to a rolling marshmallow, but without the roll. I've had some clients say that they prefer a tip that does not roll because they get more grind against the ground, so they get more surface information from the texture that they're walking on. Next, we have my favorite cane tip, talking about the ceramic. This is my personal tip, so it's a little bit beat up. I like it for the same reason I just described some people liking the high mileage tip. I prefer a cane tip that doesn't roll so I can really get good grinding contact with the ground so I can get a lot of surface texture information. I also like it when I'm using 2-point touch. It gives a very nice, very loud, very clean report whenever you hit the ground. We have the flex tip. This is an interesting one. So this is the only one that can flex within its housing, sort of like your ankle or your wrist. I've had some clients say that they like this to try and get information about an object they're touching. So instead of just bouncing off something, they can flex into it. This one also, you have a pretty hard time getting stuck. I got to be conscious of the background here. And it also does rotate, though not as smoothly as a rolling marshmallow or a jumbo roller or a roller ball. So the rolling is not the primary function. Another very interesting one is the Omni Sets. This is definitely the most different of the cane tips you've seen. So it's designed to be able to roll forward and backward. And then these little red sections can roll laterally. You may have also noticed this little shark fin poking out of it. This is a kickstand. So if you were to lean your cane up against a wall, it leans a lot more easy than a lot of other cane tips would. However, when you're using this cane tip, you have to be very conscious that this kickstand is facing up and not down, or else you'll be grinding on it instead of rolling on the wheels. We have the metal slide and glide tip. The only person I have known that this has been their preferred tip that they had transitioned from an NFB style cane to an Ambutech cane, and they really had grown accustomed to the feeling of the metal tip on the ground, very similar to a ceramic tip, but you have a bit less surface contact with the ground. All right. Another thing that a lot of people are not familiar with is the amount of customization you can put color-wise in an Ambutech cane. So this one, there's an orange section, a blue section, sort of a purpley one, white. You got the red stripes, the blue one down here. Now, of course, the classic red, white, and then red again at the bottom is the most recognizable cane for the purpose of identification. But so for example, I had a student, she was not interested in the cane at all until we got her one that was all pink. And then we went from every O&M lesson being a struggle to her being psyched to get to show off her new pink cane. So for some students, that customization can make a world of difference. The last thing I wanted to show you was how to replace a cane tip. I have been surprised by how many cane travelers have not been taught this very important skill, often because they haven't been exposed to all the different cane tips. So I'm going to be using a hook-on tip because it has the highest stakes, I guess you could say. So you start by pulling out your tip and you keep going until that piece of plastic comes out of the cane. Anybody who has forgotten to do this will know that if you forget it, the bungee cord will shoot back down into the body of the cane, and then you need to get your pair of chopsticks or whatever your preferred tool is to shove that back up the top. So once you have taken it off, all you got to do is slide on another cane tip. Make sure your plastic goes back down to the body of the cane. My knot's a little big, and then there. There's no way this is going to go anywhere. Now, there are also slide-on cane tips and threaded screw-on cane tips. Those are pretty self-explanatory. The slide-on, you slide it on. Screw-on one, you just screw it in. All right, that is my brief overview of the world of customization options available for an Ambutech style cane. Thank you so much for being a viewer of Teaching Tips Tuesday throughout the 2021 year. This will be our last TTT for 2021, going on winter break. And as always, I'm Alex Fabrega. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again in 2022. Bye.